Hey everybody, this is Rustin with Metalholic and Metal Nation Radio. With us tonight, we've got Mike and Jordan from Winnipeg's Endless Chaos. How you guys doing, man?
Hey, doing pretty good.
Oh, awesome. Just ate a big meal.
The lethargy.
I'm about to eat a big meal.
The lethargy is sitting in, right? So,
Yeah.
all right. So we have to ask the first and most obvious question: what the hell do they put in the water up there in Winnipeg? Your debut EP, Rejected Atrocity, is some bloodthirsty, brutal shit.
I think it's the bodies they drove up in the Red River in Winnipeg here, you know? You know what? It's I'm inspired by everything related to, heavy metal music. Everything from black metal, death metal, thrash metal. I try to take the best of it and, fuse it into an Endless Chaos song. We don't, you'll find other songs you don't stick around too much with just one genre. Try to fuse as much as we can together with metal, so. But I think it's got something to do with the water up here.
Yeah, so I think we get a little too caught up in the whole genre thing anyway, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's get the background out of the way first for the uninitiated. How did you guys come together?
Basically, we started this band in 2011 with my brother on drums and a few other guys who we used to jam with. Jordan joined in on vocals later that year. And just over this past year, we went through a few lineup changes, but our current lineup consists of Jeff Hammerang on bass, Mike Taves on guitar, Jordan Dorge on vocals, myself on guitars, and James Burton on drums. We just recorded the EP this past December, and it's been nice to finally have it out now. So,
absolutely, and I want to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Now, when most bands get together, they generally have a basic idea of what direction they want to go. Did Endless Chaos, did the sound for you guys sort of evolve as you started playing together, or did you know exactly what you wanted to do from day one?
You know what, our sounds definitely evolved since we started. When we first started, we had some more mid-pace, slower tempoed songs, and we eventually started to scrap those as we were starting to write, faster, more aggressive and intense songs. And, even with this new lineup now, the energy is completely refreshed, and what we've been writing and what we're putting together now is something completely different than what we've been doing previously. It's our best stuff yet, so we're really looking forward to, eventually putting out a full length later this year. So,
and we're absolutely looking forward to it based on what we've heard so far. Now, do you guys, is there a primary songwriter or two in the band, or do you guys all contribute, or?
Typically, I'm the one who, I wrote all the material that we have currently. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, I usually come to the practices with a riff or something they like, and we kind of build off from there. This is my first time really working with new musicians and a full band, really, with writing songs. For most of last year, Endless Chaos played as a three-piece. Right. So it was just my brother on drums, Jordan on vocals, and myself on guitar. So having three new members has really helped with inspiration.
Nice. Yeah, and I pretty much I write all the lyrics. All I do is sit in my basement, watch horror movies, and read up on the macabre, and just write.
Yeah, I give Jordan the riffs. He gives them the lyrics.
Well, then let's talk about the bloody fetus in the room, Rejected Atrocity. You guys are actually sort of giving that away for free. Why are you doing that?
We feel like we've been around for a little while, and we really haven't had any recording for a little while due to many things that came up, and we feel like now is the better time than ever to give something away for free, because it familiarizes the fans with what we are, and I feel like these three songs really, really capture that and where the band is headed, and it's just ease of access.
Well, yeah, in this day and age with social media, and fans seem to be eating it up. All the reviews I'm reading are just incredible. Everybody's loving it, so ourselves included. Now, give us a little backstory on the EP, because I understand it's connected to the Reanimator movie. Now, is that the entire EP or just the title track?
It'd be just the title track.
Yeah, it's just the title track, and the rest goes into demonology and summoning and trials and rituals and stuff like that. But yeah, the title track is one of my favorite movies, Reanimator, as it's said on all the press releases. One of my favorite movies there, and Rejected Atrocity, is about that.
Nice. And then for you, Mike, how did the music come together on that one?
You know what? These were songs I had written for about a couple of years now.
Nice.
But, you know, we picked, I guess, we have about 6 songs written right now. So we picked the 3 strongest to record. And with the new lineup, there's 3 that we felt really comfortable and represented our sound. So, Rejected Atrocity, Sacrificial Ritual, Condemned to the Pit. You know, they really grasp and show off who we are as a band.
Well, in Sacrificial Ritual, the middle track, that's my favorite one so far. I was like looking at the lyrics, and when I was reading them, when you're not listening to the music, it almost reads like just a really dark poem. You know? So,
right on.
is there any backstory on either of the other 2 tracks on the album? You know, that any stories that go with them, how they came together, anything like that?
With Sacrificial Ritual, I believe I was watching, I don't remember what movie it was, but it was something to do with demon, like, I think it was Demon Night, like Tales from a Crypt Keeper's Demon Night.
Right.
And it kind of just stemmed off from there. I wanted to write my own thing about, summoning a demon, and then it essentially, like, just kicking your ass after, you know. And that's essentially what that's about. And Condemned to the Pit is very, very similar in that regard. It's kind of a cheesy kind of topic, but I wrote it about summoning a demon and then asking him to grant you kind of immortality in a pit. You know, like in regards to life, in like a concert pit and stuff like that. And, you know, and it bites in the ass in the end.
Man, that song's like 2 parts. You know, you've got the main character in that song, you know, being sentenced to death, and then, you know, we have that slow part, which is, you know, your descent into hell.
Right.
And then the rest of that song, you know, that dude burning alive in hell. So it's a really neat concept on that song. I had a lot of fun writing that one. It's one of my favorites to play live.
Well, and you know, horror films as a genre lend themselves very well to extreme metal. I don't know why, but they do.
Oh, absolutely. It helps. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'll ask you now while we're talking about it, do you guys have like an ultimate horror film, you know, or something off the beaten path that people who are fans might want to check out they might not have seen?
Oh, man. There's a bunch of them. But I definitely recommend watching From Beyond. It's the movie that was made shortly after Reanimator, starring Jeffrey Combs. Very similar style to Reanimator in a way. It's just a little bit more sci-fi. Definitely recommend that one. And then I also recommend Street Trash, which is a ridiculous movie about this liquid called Viper that melts flesh. And all these bums, all these homeless people get their hands on it and they start melting everywhere. It's a mental movie.
Now, Jordan, because the band's sound taps into, you know, we already sort of alluded to it, thrash, death, black metal. You guys have a whole lot of different stuff going on in there. Now, for you, Jordan, in listening to the songs, you sort of tap into those vocal elements for all 3 genres. Has that been a challenge, or does it sort of come naturally to sort of bend between the 3?
Well, at the start, it was kind of a challenge because I'm not only in Endless Chaos, I'm in 3 other bands, and they span across different genres. So the biggest challenge was like not getting my voice sounding kind of similar, you know, because I've seen bands where like they have multiple, like the vocalist has multiple projects and it kind of sounds the same across the projects. So I really want to differentiate my voice between all 4 projects of mine, and I think I attained that pretty good.
I'd say so.
It comes across really well, and that's one of the things that impressed me. It's like it was very fluid. It was very natural. Now, so for us to get to know you a little bit better, what are some of the albums that sort of set the stage for your guys' love of metal?
Well, for myself, Heartwork by Carcass, Symbolic by Death, New World Order, or The New Order by Testament. Those 3 albums are definitely staples in my life as a metalhead. Heartwork really set that bar.
For me, it's probably every Incantation album, probably Autopsy as well, and probably Disma. Oh, and there's a bunch. A lot of black metal too, like Retain helps a lot, and they paved the way into what I am now, I guess.
So what else, aside from obviously the EP, what else is going on with you guys right now?
Got a ton of shows lined up. We're rehearsing, getting new songs written. We're doing small, a couple festival dates, and we're going to get working on full length, hopefully for later this year.
Yeah, and we should have artwork very soon too for the record. It's kind of delayed a bit because we got the busiest guy on the industry. Luck.
I got Matt Tuchard working on it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of visuals, that's what I was about to ask you. Is there a chance you guys are going to shoot a video for any of the tracks from this?
Talking about doing like a live rehearsal video and maybe a playthrough video, but haven't really talked much about it yet.
Probably more like for the full length, we'll plan some sort of old school horror movie.
Shoot the video in a lab or something.
Yeah.
Well, before we get out of here, a couple questions for fun. When you guys are not pulverizing marrow on stage, what are you into? Besides horror films now, too, as we know.
I play a ton of video games. That's really that's my outside of, that's pretty much all I do outside of guitar. I'll sit around and watch video games, and I'll watch It's Only Sunny in Philadelphia or Workaholics or something, but outside of that, it's not too exciting for me.
For me, I just sit at home, write lyrics, because I'm in 4 bands, and I am always active musically, so I don't really have much downtime, but when I do, I just sit there and watch Netflix.
Nice. So is there a show that either of you are addicted to?
True Detective.
Yeah, I'm watching My Name is Earl right now, and that's super funny. I never really gave that show the time.
That's a hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Hilarious series. Nice. Okay, so our pointless question of the week: if you could play any position in any professional sport, what would it be and why?
I would. I'm trying to think here. It's a good question. Say middle linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're one of my favorite teams.
Nice, my team too. What about you, Jordan?
I am not a sports guy whatsoever, so probably, I played hockey when I was younger, so probably defense or goalie in hockey.
Awesome, guys. Thanks so much. And as we get closer to the full album and everything, we'll talk again and go over a lot more stuff. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk with me tonight, though.
Hey, thanks for the support. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Take it easy, guys.